to talk about this real fast. I've been having a lot of nightmares lately, and I'm not sure what it's from. But it seems like around the time that like this depression thing started for me a couple weeks ago is when I started having these nightmares. And I'm sorry I'm doing like I'm sorry I'm doing like the Justin Bieber thing with my hair. It's just getting to that part. It's getting to that point where I need to cut it pretty soon here again. So, but what was I talking about? Yeah, I've been having nightmares lately. Been having some crazy nightmares, like bad ones. Like I'll have like really vivid ones too. Like I had one the other night. This was the one before the one I had yesterday. I had one yesterday morning because AT&T got over here. And by the way, you ever notice because we're switching from Comcast to AT&T internet, but you ever notice that whenever like AT&T or whenever whoever you have coming over to like set up your internet or anybody you have coming over to do anything on your computer, you ever notice how like paranoid you get? Because like I mean I don't really have a lot to hide, but I'm like so paranoid. Like I go through and I checked every drawer, I checked everything in my room, I checked everything near where the AT&T people could possibly go to make sure there's nothing there that I don't want them to see. And it's like I never think that about anybody until fucking AT&T gets here, and I'm like in the other room knowing they're in here like setting up the modem and shit, and I'm like, oh my god, what is it that they're gonna know about me after this that they're not gonna talk about because it's just gonna be horrible. And I just, like there's nothing, that leads me to just I don't know if this happens to you too, but for me it leaves me sitting there like I end up going through in my head like what are all the things that I could possibly have that I wouldn't want people to see. Yeah, so I always do like a thorough clean before people get here. But anyway, this was the dream I had before the one that I had yesterday morning. It wasn't even that long of a dream. I just remember being asleep in my bed right here behind me. And let me tell you something. I never have dreams where I'm in my own house. So that was really weird because I'm never in my own house when I dream. It's a very rare thing. I mean, it's happened before, but it's not very common. So I'm sleeping on my bed, and I mean, the last time I can remember having a dream where I was in my own house was, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. But anyway, I'm laying in my bed behind me, and I just wake up, and I think this happened to me. The fun part about remembering cool dreams like this, about just vivid dreams, the cool part about being able to remember them is one of my favorite things to do is tracing them back to see where I got them, like what created that in my head. And what I think this came from was because I was telling my sister the day before I had this nightmare that I had just been having nightmares lately, and but I was telling her that I thought it was kind of cool because the upside of having nightmares is being able to wake up and go, oh, that's not real. And life is just so much better. Because I had a dream where somebody burnt my house down and I lost all my shit. And like everything I have just got burnt to a crisp. And then I woke up and then I was like, oh, everything's not burnt down. And you just have a new appreciation for things when you wake up from a nightmare, especially a really vivid one. And I was telling her about that, and but in this dream, I felt the presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I had a dream about like a big monster or something in my room, like, I mean, it'd be scary, but I'd wake up and be able to go, that's bullshit. But I just felt like a really dark, evil presence. Not evil, just dark. And I don't even know if it was like a single entity as much as just like a cloud of just fear. Like I just remember laying there and I was facing this way towards my window. And I could basically see this whole corner of my room to, like, you know, wherever. That's just what I was looking at. And I just remember just, like, not being able to move in my dream. Not that I wasn't able to, but I didn't want to. I didn't want whatever it was that I could feel to, like, know I was there. But I'm sure it did. And it was so. It's really hard to explain what it was like. You know, just because it was a dream, but it really felt so real. It was so scary. Like, I was just absolutely terrified. And it was one of those ones that I woke up from, and I woke up and it was still like 3 or 4 a.m. And I was just fucking, Like, I didn't want to move out of my bed to like check anything, because I woke up facing the same way that I was dreaming I was, and I was just like I was able to calm myself down to rationality a little bit, but I mean, it still sticks with you. If you've seen Paul Zigo's video about where he talks about his craziest dream, it's in I think part 2 or 3 of his recent Q&A video. What would you call it? Video series. And if you like, I had the same thing that he had, in the sense that I just woke up and I was able to, although my at the core of me I knew it was bullshit, I still had like that fear up and that guard up, and I was still laying there just like petrified, unable to move, just like holy shit. And I still very felt like there was a presence in the room. And it was really weird. I've just been having those lately. And I think the reason that I think that relates with me telling my sister that is because it's something that you can't really see or anything, so you can't really disprove it. Like, it was unable for me to wake up and go, oh, glad that's not happening. Because it was just a feeling I had. It wasn't a physical thing in front of me that was fucked up. It was just like a feeling, like in my soul. Like, there's still nights after that, like the nights after that, I'm still like, ugh. But I've actually been watching. I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that I've been watching a lot of movies too, and not horror movies necessarily, but I think I've just been watching a lot of movies now. As I said in a couple videos ago, as I said a couple videos ago, I bought Netflix, so I've been watching a lot of movies. By the way, I have a list here of the movies you should see. Fucking Rubber. Go watch Rubber now. And by the way, these are all movies you can watch on Netflix for free, just on the stream thing. Okay. How long? How long before you leave? Okay, give me like 5 minutes. Alright, my sister needs me to take her somewhere, but yeah, let me go through these movies and then I'll come back and I guess I'll record. I guess we'll have to cut this video short, but I don't know, I may finish it up tonight, or I don't know, we'll see what happens. Definitely check out Rubber. And again, these are all movies you can watch on the Netflix stream if you have it. Rubber is a movie. It is just such a innovative movie. It's such a creative concept. The whole movie is about just like, I'm not even going to ruin it for you. You just have to watch it. I'm not even going to give you the premise of it because it'll give away too much. You just have to watch it. And it's just one of those movies that, like, you sit there, like, the first half of it, you're sitting there going, like, what am I watching? But it really is a good movie, and it really changed it really upped the ante of how good I thought film could get. Also, I finished off Saw. I've watched every single Saw that came out since it came out. And they usually tend to come out around my birthday, but I just didn't go and see it. I didn't go and see it. I didn't go and see the final chapter. I just didn't get off my lazy ass to go and do it, but I watched it on Netflix, and holy shit, that movie's fucking crazy, and especially when you tie it in with everything before it. I mean, it's my favorite movie series. It's the most incredible story. You have Kramer, who's just he punishes people. He gets revenge on people who have gotten away with doing horrible things, and the other people who he interacts with are those that don't appreciate life, and they always walk away a better person at the end of it. And I think when you get past, I don't think a lot of people are able to see through just the gruesomeness of it to see the moral of the story. But I really do think it's a beautiful story. So I really don't recommend seeing the last Saw movie, which is a great movie by itself too. But I really wish you wouldn't see it before seeing everything else before it, because it's just so much better when you watch everything else before it. Also, now this next movie Paul Zigo talked about as well. I've been tying in a lot with Paul Zigo lately. I found this movie through Paul Zigo, Dear Zachary. I'm not even going to say much about this movie, but if you can make a video telling me, if you can, even if you can tell me in the comments or find a way to prove it, have a witness with you or something, I'll give you a shout out right now on YouTube. Well, I guess not right now, but I will give you a shout out on YouTube in any form you want if you can prove to me that you can watch Dear Zachary all the way through. It's a real it's a nonfiction. It's a nonfiction documentary, and if you can watch this movie all the way through without crying like an absolute bitch, like without just completely bawling your eyes out, I will give you a shout out or something else of request here on YouTube, because I'll send you something signed if it's that important to you. So yeah, definitely watch that. Is there anything else? Or I mean, if you want to do, I mean, don't watch it unless you're ready to get the shit kicked out of you emotionally, because that shit will fuck you up. I think that's it. I also watched What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, and that's a little bit of an older movie. It's from the 90s. I think the mid-90s or early 90s. Maybe even late 90s. I'm not sure. No, it's not late 90s. But it's about Robin Williams. Or, I'm sorry, it's not about Robin Williams. Robin Williams stars in it. And it's just a beautiful movie. So I would watch that movie. I mean, you can't. It has a lot to do with heaven and hell and stuff, but you have to watch it without any predispositions. You can't watch. You have to watch it like you'd watch a Star Wars movie. Like, you know it's bullshit, but you just got to watch it for the movie. And yeah. So I need to get out of here and take my sister where she needs to be. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.